despite not playing to catch them, you know, for first place. You still really want to test yourself against SKT. You might play them in a final. You want to show to your fans as well, you know, what you can do. Like Flash was taking down SKT was huge. Team WE doing that as well before we go into playoffs next week. I think has a lot of potential.
Well, let's see what happens to pick some bans. Common Lulu still up and available. Let's see, LeBlanc Ivern taken away from SK Telecom. Kled is another one that 957 has received numerous bans all tournament long. Peanut will not be allowed to play his Cleanut Lee Sin, because that's been taken away by LPL's Team WE.
I think you can save the Kled bans for second phase. I don't think you necessarily have to ban it early. It's rare it's picked in the first phase.
Yeah, I do like the Karma ban because it's super highly prioritized for the flexibility with WE. That being said, they have a lot of very flexible champions. Like early Fizz picks have come through, early Gragas picks as well. So I'm wondering what the first pick here from SKT. One of the biggest things about this team is that SKT does not need a specific champion or any specific champions to actually win the game.
Well, Graves is available right now as the top priority jungler. That is locked in for Peanut. The man with the most kills in the entire tournament. He wants some more.
Okay, I'll take you.
Was that really that bad of a statement?
I was just expecting more. It just kind of ended a bit short.
No, that's how you make a statement like that.
Peanut was gifted a whole.
Oh, by the way, he does it by shooting people in the face. So there you go, guys.
By the Gigabyte Marines, and of course, Team WE on their first rotation. They reply with a jungler of their own in Elise. And of course, they've locked in that Ashe for Mystic.
I'm super excited for some early Xie plus Condi action. This has been one of my favorite parts about watching this team. Is the way that they can try and work together for Condi to add some extra threat to his early routes.
Now we should see Zero get his Bromir against the Tahm Kench before we go into the ban phase. That means SKT could actually pick a mid laner like Syndra here and then try and ban out us other mid laners. And kind of trade that. Orianna is another one. Like you want to kind of force Team WE to have to decide between getting the #1 support for them or maybe losing something in a potential mid lane matchup. It seems to be the very safe choice of just Ezreal coming in. Still expecting Braum to come in here for Team WE.
It'll be a very big pickup. Melee versus melee support, something that we're seeing quite a lot once the Karma Lulu trio has been banned away.
I'm starting to get excited for the SKT composition here because they have extra mobility with the Tahm Kench. Ezreal cross-map wave clear possibilities are even more dangerous in the hands of this team where they're constantly pressuring you on every minion wave advantage that they get. Plus, we are treated to Bangs Ezreal, one of the very best.
So Zero, the man who actually plays Braum a lot, did not want to go Braum because he wants to win the lane. Obviously tells us it's not a champion pool thing here. That's not why Zero is being subbed in. I think it's just to give him some experience on this stage specifically so that you're ready to use him in a semifinal.
And clearly, if they're going for Zyra Ashe, they're looking to kill this Tahm Kench in lane phase.
Oh yeah.
This is a lot of potential for harassment, and it's actually going to really test Wolf and, as well as Bang. So they'll definitely be playing more defensive, trying to see us from safety.
And we know SKT won't look to like swap out of the lane after like 5 minutes or anything. They will stay in that lane and keep playing 2v2. So Condi should pay some or spend some time in the bottom lane as well.
The detriment sometimes on the side of SKT. Fizz and Kled banned away in phase 2.
Or the bottom quadrant of the jungle. Talk about drafting phase is where the early jungle route does start. And if you have a super strong bottom lane with guaranteed pressure like this.
Ooh, yes! It's gonna be Lucian mid.
Yes! Yes!
We finally get it!
Yes! Okay. Talk to me a little bit about Lucian mid, because we touched on it in day 1 and maybe a little bit on day 2. We know it's happening in scrims and solo queue, but this is the first time we're gonna see it in Rio at MSI.
So basically, extremely safe laning phase. You can lane against absolutely everything. Very strong on 1 item, Blade, 2 items, often Black Cleaver. So you're going to use that to really try and fight early and mid-game.
Also, it does balance your damage composition, so we're expecting a top lane AP maybe here from 957. And the other thing that you can hand off early red buffs to the Lucian, that's what really, makes it super scary in the mid lane. I'm very curious to see if we'll actually see that, because in scrims, like you're talking about, when I have seen that, is been with Ivern, where you get the double use of the red buffs.
Now, obviously, Lucian as well does really well with levels, a bit like Corki in the mid lane, another AD carry we saw, and Ezreal in the past. Like, give them early, like level 7, level 9, get a few more ranks in the queue, and then suddenly your damage actually spikes quite a lot.
All right, we're not seeing an AP top laner. Rumble was up and available, not locked in. Instead, it's going to be Shen. So purely really AD damage. Elise falls off pretty quickly, actually, in their magic, but it does work early in mid.
Yeah, no, you can build AP on Zyra. Like, Zyra is very often is dealing the most damage, you know, for 25, 30 minutes of the game as a support. So I think there's enough AP damage on Team WE.
Yeah, exactly. Elise will keep you honest in the early game. Zyra will scale like a fairly normal mage, even coming from the support, even though it takes a lot longer. And Shen does have the